Welcome back. This is PI Today's podcast, and I'm here with David Arreguin. He's at Bankers Hill Law Firm, right? You're at the
That
Bankers
is
Hill Law Firm,
that is
yes.
correct.
And we're here today to talk about the different things that David brings to the table with his law firm and what he's doing in his practice. It's an honor. We're here down in San Diego at the Bankers Hill area. And David has been on the scene at the different conferences that we go to. And here we are today. I'm really excited about getting into this podcast with you, David. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you guys for being here, and thank you, Amelia, for giving my last name a try. So that
Yes.
was awesome. I know Christian and with your team has been trying to get us on board for
Yeah.
one of these. So we appreciate you guys being on our office,
Yeah.
in sunny San Diego.
All right. Well, let's get into it. I just really want to get started with how did you become involved in the whole PI or lawyer industry? What gave you that?
So it actually
Uh,
dates back to 2013, and I was actually at this firm, Bankers Hill Law Firm, where I became the marketing director and business development guy.
okay.
And it started getting me, one, interested in personal injury, and then second, getting me into the field, going into these conferences.
Yeah.
I
Because
know
you weren't initially wanting to be a lawyer, you just were in the marketing world and then
not
worked.
necessarily. So all the
Okay.
way through college, my whole plan was to go to law school.
Okay.
I did have a few years in between college and law school. Uh, but when I started at this firm, I realized that personal injury was my calling. I got very involved from a head start and got very interested into it and all the dynamics, the dealing with the doctors, getting to know all of the physical conditions that a client goes through, and
Mhm.
then understanding what they're going through. So
Absolutely.
that's how I got started, marketing and business development, going to conferences, talking to people, and learning more about these conditions.
It's similar to my story, actually.
Oh, really? How did
uh,
you get started?
so I started working for a visual media company. They would do the graphics for trial, the animations, the things to tell the story of the client. And I'd go to these conferences and meet all these lawyers, obviously work on several different cases that are different, for personal injury and telling that story to a jury. So I got that um, light into it, just to see what's going on in the lawyer world of court cases and personal injury. Didn't even know it really existed to do this level of service for lawyers. And when you do, it's really intriguing because you're working on the like what they call the sexy part of the
Right.
cases, right? And so, but when I would go, through these cases, and you'd have traumatic brain injury where people were having, symptoms of TBI, but they weren't able to show it on a standard brain MRI, and they weren't able to show objective evidence in an animation or anything. It was really your client's testimony that you have to go with,
Right.
and many experts to help prove that. But I saw the pain in these attorneys' eyes is when they couldn't help but, relay this information to a jury on what's going on in that invisible injury, if you will.
Of course.
So that's how I discovered really the need and the necessity for better imaging for these people that are, traumatically brain injured. And then I went ahead and worked for a funding company that helped cost the cost of the cases. They help put it on a lien, and they said, well, if in order for us to invest in these types of cases, we have to get the right imaging. So they had me contact an advanced imaging company where I learned more about diffusion tensor imaging and the level of sequences that are needed in a brain MRI in order to measure that part. And it was just so intriguing to me that I just fell in love with and passionate about getting the help, the right help for these people.
Yeah, and it's something that you didn't really plan for, right? It just happened to you, and then you just got
Oh,
interested.
yeah.
It's not something that you're going to learn in college.
No, no,
It's like,
no.
this is my calling,
Right.
but it presented to you, and you took advantage of that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
I answered a Craigslist out of all things.
Really? Oh,
Yes, to
wow.
get that job.
That's
I
great.
answered, I didn't even know what it was. I'm a visual media consultant. Okay, let me see what this is about. And then that's when I learned all about being in personal injury, and I just loved it. So yes, I created it for myself and figured it out. And
Good.
yeah, it's really cool.
And
So
and now you're here with a podcast talking
and
about
now
traumatic brain injuries, becoming
exa-
the expert on it. Great, great.
you just
Congratulations.
never know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so take us back now. You're working here as a marketing guy and helping them with that, and then going to these conferences, going to and learning all about it. And then you got interested more in personal injury that way.
Yes, I remember some of my first conferences. I mean, I was not a lawyer then.
Yeah.
And then I was learning about these injuries, the traumatic brain injuries, for example. I was not understanding any of this when I was at the conferences.
Right.
So I had to definitely like study it and
Mm-hmm.
then just get deeper into the cases.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, now, of course, I understand more of it.
Sure.
I'm the one actually presented as a lawyer. Um, but I think it was, it was a great experience. Going into law school, I thought I was going to go into business law
Mm.
and started getting a little bit into it, exploring it, and then I realized, no, you know what? I like civil litigation. I like trial work, and I like personal injury. So as soon as I got out of law school, I went back into personal injury.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a people person, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I like the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I still meet with my clients either
Mm-hmm.
here at their homes, like they always say,
Mm-hmm.
and in my situation, so I grew up in Tijuana, Mexico. I
Okay.
mean, I grew up in Tijuana, Mexico. I was born in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
but growing up in Tijuana gives you a different perspective,
Sure.
right? And a lot of the business that I do and that we do here at the firm, we do get a lot of this cross-border region clientele.
Yeah. Very
Um,
needed. High
exactly,
demand of
exactly.
cross-border. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of these people are driving in the US and getting
Mm-hmm.
injured in the US, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them are getting injured in Mexico,
Wow.
close to the border where we got to fight jurisdiction.
Wow.
But thankfully, due to like our background and our expertise, our experience, we've been able to represent those clients even if the accidents happen in
In Mexico.
Tijuana,
Wow.
because there is US coverage for insurance for some of them, not all of
Okay.
them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good to know. I was just going to ask, is there different laws in Mexico versus the US when you get injured?
So we don't get involved with the Mexican law. We
Mm-hmm.
just stick to
The
the
US.
U.S. law,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course we explore the policies that are covering, let's say, a vehicle, right,
Right.
that runs over a pedestrian in Tijuana,
Mm-hmm.
or in a car accident, or more recently a few wrongful death cases that I
Mm-hmm.
was, that the clients were trusted me with their case. And one of the reasons why these cases come to me is, again, because I grew up in Tijuana, so
Yeah.
people know me down
Yeah.
there, and they're the only lawyer they know in the U.S.
Wow.
So I was referred those cases, and thankfully I was able to represent them,
Mm-hmm.
because they probably did not have any recourse in Mexican law.
Right.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a lawyer down there,
Right.
um, but things are handled differently.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness for you. I mean, that is such a need for these people that, are in dire straits and worst times of their life, really, when you're getting involved in a personal injury where it's, havoc on your mental everything.
Yeah.
And then you have the different languages that you're having to go through. So, um, to make them feel more comfortable and make sure that they are getting taken care of, that there is recourse, it's beautiful.
And
That's
it's
awesome.
yeah, and it's understanding the culture, the fears.
Hmm.
So again, growing up
Sure.
down there, a lot of people don't know how to handle
Yeah.
cases here, or how the law works,
Right.
or the fact that you have all these rights in the US.
Right. And
So
they don't even know it.
no, exactly. And I think one of the things that I've been doing is trying to inform people, like going on podcasts, some,
Yeah.
TV interviews,
Yeah.
presentations, letting them know that, it's very different here.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fight for your rights. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get your treatment.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve that after an
Yeah.
accident, especially if it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Why would you be responsible for paying for your treatment?
Right.
Because again, in this region, and a lot of people from this region, they say, oh, you know what, it's fine. I got into a car accident. I'll just go to treatment in Tijuana, and I'll pay for it myself. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these people are maybe uninsured.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They have car insurance, but no
But
health
not health.
insurance.
And what they
So,
don't know is they can still get health
correct.
coverage under a PI claim
Yeah, and then
against their
also,
case.
very good doctors, very good experts, imaging, like what you
Yeah.
guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
They should take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
So that's what I keep pushing
Yeah.
people for.
Yeah, because you have to be your own advocate of these
Correct.
cases. And when you're lost out there, it's hard to advocate for yourself. You don't know where to go. Like if you got a brain injury of some kind, do you go to a neurologist? Do you go to a neuropsych? What do you do?
Yeah,
And
how are you gonna know, right? You're not the
yeah,
expert. At least you go to, let's say you start with a pain management doctor who is able to at least assess your condition so he can refer you out to a specialist,
right.
right? I think
Yeah.
that's very important from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I've seen that with clients.
Mm-hmm.
Before the podcast, I was, telling Christian that I had a client who got into a motorcycle accident, and after the motorcycle accident, he felt disoriented, and then he just went to Walmart and he got some band-aids and some alcohol and he'll clean up the wounds.
Hmm.
A week goes by, he shows up at the hospital with aphasia. He was not able to speak.
Oh gosh.
So what does that tell you,
Yeah,
right? There's
definitely. There's
something going
something
on
going
here.
on. Yep.
And very concerning, he did not have health insurance.
Wow.
So we had to go through the PI process.
Right.
Uh, and when I told him is, you know what, you want to make sure that you have in these type of situations some good underinsured policy, some good uninsured policy, just to make sure that if you have these traumatic brain injuries, these traumatic injuries,
Yeah.
that they will be covered for.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and people also don't know that, their policy does cover medical if they don't have it.
Correct.
So, and we can also use the case as leverage to lean the medical costs. We can find doctors that will cover it on a lien against the case, and we love those doctors. Thank God for them.
Right, of course.
Because yeah, thank God we can get this recovery for people. So for you to be an outlet, a resource here, it's not too far from the border. It's awesome. And do you still have family in Tijuana as well? And
I do have family in Tijuana. Yes. So
okay,
my parents live in Tijuana. They're always crossing the border. They're
yeah,
always here as well.
yeah.
My dad is a dentist in Tijuana. My mom is a nurse.
Oh,
So they've always
wonderful.
been sort of like in the medical field.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great.
yeah, my mom's here temporarily for a few weeks because I had the great idea of taking her on a hike and she broke her ankle.
Oh no.
Yes, but she's doing better now. We've always been very active.
Well, and then she's gonna just be around for baby to come.
Correct. Yeah, no, she's ready for that.
Yes.
But going back to the fact that you were talking about coverage and
Yep.
insurance,
Yep.
another thing that I'm focusing on, especially in this cross-border region, is informing people that the term full coverage is
Mm.
not legit and
No.
it's not truthful.
Yeah. Let's
And
explain that a little bit.
of course, unfortunately, full coverage, and of course in Spanish they use it as well. And people think that once they get that policy, they're not going to have any issues at all. They're
Right.
completely covered.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've been doing in the last couple of years is informing people that full coverage is not real,
Mm-hmm.
that you got to ask for your policy breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's people living in the South Bay of San Diego, people living in Tijuana, but working in San Diego. And these are all either US residents or US citizens. But unfortunately, some of these insurance companies, they target them for being a non-English speaker or just being, I don't want to say ignorant of the law, but ignorant of their policies,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, all the time.
So one of the things that I tell people is just ask for that breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for that breakdown. I'm happy to explain it to you, at least so that you get good coverage in case if the other person's not well covered.
Yeah, they'll say full coverage, but when you look at it, it's really like this minimum policy type thing.
Yes,
It's coverage enough to have a license, if you will, to drive.
of course. And you see it at
But
the border. We have the border, the busiest
mm-hmm.
border in the world. They
Mm-hmm.
have these huge billboards that say full coverage,
Oh my
and
gosh,
they keep
yes.
targeting people with that. And
Yes.
it's some of these, not so good insurance companies that are targeting the
Yes.
people.
Yes. Thankfully, our law just raised the minimum coverage, right? To,
Correct.
was it 30,
30,
60?
60.
30, 60
Yes.
now. So it's a little helpful,
Right.
but even then, 30, 60 is not that much to
Exactly.
get you some really good coverage for medical costs and everything. So definitely interested in looking at that insurance claim. You want to call your insurance company today, find out what that breakdown is, and make sure you do have that underinsured as well,
Correct.
because that really comes into effect through when you guys when you're dealing with something that's pretty traumatic.
Yeah, and most people that I talk to, they don't even know what that term is. So I
Right.
got to explain it. Again, I've been doing little presentations with different organizations,
That's
especially in the
great.
South Bay,
Yeah.
where I just talk about insurance.
Yeah.
And one of the good things that happen at these organization meetings is that I have insurance people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to have a good
Oh,
interaction,
good.
a good
That's
conversation
great.
while others are listening and actually learning about this.
Yeah.
Once the presentation is over, they actually come to me and it's like, okay, can you look at my policy, please? Now I'm worried. I'm like, yes, of course, happy to,
Yes.
right? And at
Yes.
least they know they're well covered. And
Yes.
they should talk to their insurance agents as well.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So what other things are you doing here? I know you're doing personal injury, but immigration as well and some other types of services for
Correct. Yeah. So at Bankers Hill, the firm handles personal injury, immigration, and workers' comp.
Okay.
So we have the workers' comp here, especially because of the
Mm-hmm.
crossover cases where the person gets injured on the job, but maybe they're driving a truck, someone else impacts their vehicle, and they suffer injuries.
Yeah.
So we're very strategic on that end because we're able to handle them in house. So
Yeah.
that's a big benefit to the client.
Sure.
I also do vehicle defects and lemon law.
Oh, okay.
So that's specifically what I do here. It's the personal injury and the vehicle defects.
Okay.
What I've been finding is that there's also a crossover there.
Yes.
Uh, I handle a lot of cases where the vehicle catches on fire.
Wow,
Vehicle
really?
catches on fire, person suffers an injury,
Wow.
right? So you have a vehicle defect case and you have a personal injury case.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of those other cross-border stories.
Yeah.
Uh, People from the U.S. they get on their truck and they're driving to Ensenada, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
While they're driving on the road on the highway, the vehicle catches on fire. It's a brand new truck, beautiful
Is it
truck.
because it's electric or
It
something?
was not an electric car. It was just a regular car,
Wow.
gas engine.
Wow.
Vehicle catches on fire. Thankfully, they're able to get out of the car. The grandpa does suffer a burn injury.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did in that particular case, I handled it as a personal injury case and then also as a vehicle defect case.
Yes.
When they came to me, recommended, they thought that they were at a loss. One, injury. Two, they had a huge debt on this vehicle. I mean,
Sure.
this is a $70,000, $80,000 vehicle that they had
Right.
just gotten.
Right.
Um,
Oh gosh.
and they had one of these insurance companies that do not cover in Mexico and that they're not the great companies in the US. So they came to me and they were very stressed about it. What happened in this case, I was able to successfully handle the personal injury case and handle the vehicle case.
Oh wow.
Vehicle
Awesome.
was paid off. They were paid for the damages on top, and they
Wow.
left debt free. They now have a new vehicle,
Oh
and thankfully,
good.
the burn injuries were not substantial and were not major.
Wow, what a story.
Right. So again, a lot of people would not know this if they're not familiar with the cross-border region.
Sure.
So I think that's something that we here and myself we bring to the table in these
Absolutely.
specific cases.
Absolutely. That's good to get out there for
No,
sure.
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So we'll spread it loud and clear
Of
for
course.
sure.
Yes, that would be great.
That is awesome to have somebody that we can refer to for sure to help these people.
Of course.
Well, good stuff. And then in your personal life, I know you're having a baby. You just told us prior to the show.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
exciting. Your first.
My wife and I, we've been married for almost 11 years.
Wow.
But we had a lot of plans. We had law
Yes.
school, becoming an
Yes.
attorney, getting into the practice, and thankfully now we're gonna have our baby boy in
Yes.
August, which is a
Oh
few
my
weeks
gosh,
away.
that's so cool.
Yes,
What's
yes.
the actual due date?
So it's between the 7th or the 20th,
Okay.
which means that it's around the corner.
Yeah, it really is.
Yes,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that's exciting. Thank you for being here with us today.
No, of course.
You've got a lot going on to prep for this,
Uh,
I'm sure.
Again, I want to thank Christian, from your
Yeah.
team, from being so persistent for like a year to get me on this podcast.
Yes,
Um,
that's
and
awesome.
he's a great friend. He's also great friends with Federico. We can give a shout out to
Yeah.
him. He's
Yeah.
been on your podcast as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Uh,
Well,
great.
that's how I found Christian is
Oh,
through
really?
Federico.
Well, great people to
Hmm.
have around.
Yes.
Well, that's why I met Christian through
Uh-huh.
Federico as well.
Uh-huh. Well, thanks, Federico.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Federico.
Thank you. And then speaking of TBIs, I know you worked on any TBI cases that have been successful?
So we have worked on several TBI cases. But thankfully, I mean, and thanks to you guys, I know we're going to do a lunch and learn right after this
Yeah.
because I was just speaking to my case manager and we have some actual TBI cases right now.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what? I want to learn more about this.
Oh,
I
awesome.
want to dig deeper into what you
Mhm.
guys do.
Yeah.
So that's going to
That's
be a
exciting.
great experience right after this.
Okay,
My team
great.
is ready.
Oh, awesome. I
Yeah.
love it. And you know what? That's where I come from is the education side of it, simply because I had that experience working for the different companies and seeing that perspective, and really being like a plaintiff, if you will, or a juror, if you will, not a plaintiff, because I could look at it from a defense side as well and go, hey, how does this present? And if I were a jury, or a juror, on the jury, what would I think when this is being presented? So that's where I've always come from, is that level. And then that's what I love about teaching case managers, who really, you're coming in and being a worker for these cases, and you don't know anything about medicine or the law, or sometimes these people are like that, and they're put in this position where they're supposed to help now handle the treatments, for making sure that they're getting to their treatments. So yeah, it's a really good education for these people to be able to
Yeah.
understand how to work up a TBI case
Yeah, no,
and what to look for.
case managers are a great liaison between the doctor and the attorney,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And they also become almost experts on this because they're reviewing also the medical records.
Absolutely.
And they're
Yes.
working with us, the attorneys, directly. So
Hmm.
they do get the experience
Yeah.
as well.
And the case managers are usually the ones that are talking to these people and having to be that voice, that calm in the storm that they're going through.
Right.
So I like to try and make it light, where they can, enjoy their job still, but yet be in the presence of people that are going through a hard time, but actually being that help for them. And
Right.
it makes them feel good that they can actually help these people, get through it.
At least understand some of these mood swings, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of times we get, let's say, moody clients, but some of our case managers have been able to detect, well, maybe there's something going on,
Yeah.
right? Maybe there's something else to their car accident, to their
Hmm.
fall. And thankfully, the doctors have been able to detect that, and they've been
Absolutely.
on top of it,
Yeah,
because we want to make sure that, our clients are going to the best doctors.
exactly.
And like you said, they're talking to the clients.
Yeah.
Like I meet with the clients also initially, and our intake department's great to be able to assess these. But we want to make sure that we're addressing these things from the get-go,
Yeah,
so that there's no gap in treatment for these
absolutely.
particular issues, like,
Yeah.
with TBI, for example.
Well, and the thing is that most TBI people, victims, most of them won't recognize that they even have a TBI, or if they do, they don't want to admit it. And sometimes they're the breadwinners of the family, so they don't want to make it look like that, or they've got to show to their boss that they're fine. There's so much of that goes on. So these case managers should be able to, in a sense, help pull it out of them,
Right.
and help guide them to knowing that they are hurt, and that they can get help with this. So that's just really what I've seen in the years of doing this, is that the people that really are hurt aren't the ones that are asking for the help.
Yeah, they try to be very strong. Again, it goes with culture, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
and
Especially that,
I keep
yeah.
going back to the cross-border region,
It's
right?
so
Because
true.
again, it's U.S., Mexico, and then Mexicans are basically
Oh yeah.
taught that there should be strong and not
Strong.
complain about things.
Yep.
But we have some
Just go to work,
clients.
get it done.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some clients where, they do have the TBI, but at that point, what hurts the most is maybe like some shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking to them a little bit more, and it's like, and you realize, well, their pain starts going up and radiating to the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I asked them, okay, and from your neck, the pain goes where? Well, it goes to my head.
Right.
I'm like, well, that's something that's worth exploring, just
Mm-hmm.
for your sake.
Yeah.
So that's how we get to those cases sometimes.
Yeah. And then symptoms always predicate imaging. That's what I always have told everyone, is neuroradiologists that I've worked with, it's the symptoms that in a sense are the indicators for getting the imaging. So if there's symptoms going on and they're ongoing, then by all means, this is where we got to look into helping them get the right workup and the right doctors to identify this.
Exactly.
So it's good stuff.
Great.
And so we are, how much? Oh gosh, this time flies. Oh my gosh.
It's always great when we're having fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, well, anything else you want to cover that you can think of.
I think just again going into the cross-border region,
Yeah.
teaching people about this,
Yeah.
and then also focusing on the communities that are not exposed to this kind of information.
Right.
Like podcasts like these are
Yes.
great to be able to get that information out there.
Yes. I'm so glad we're able to do this.
No, exactly.
But let's do more. Let's see you at a conference, I'm sure, and we'll get you on another one down the road after baby's here too.
No, of course, of course. I know I'm gonna miss. I usually go to Cala in
Oh,
Vegas every single year. Max here at the office, he loves that conference, and it's great because we get to meet with a lot of the vendors, right?
yes.
A lot of technology that is coming out.
Yes.
All this AI is just
Oh gosh.
fascinating, and we got early into it here at the office. Why? Because we were going to these conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And again, technology mixed with law, it can
Mm-hmm.
do great things
It is.
if you handle them the right way.
Yep.
Hopefully we've been able to implement a lot of that from the early starts,
Yep.
from the great case management softwares that came out in the early
Yes.
2010s.
Yes.
So we got
That
into that.
helped a lot.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
getting into some of these other AI for drafting demands, for analyzing records, um, and all the technology that has gone into imaging.
Imaging and having an
It's
AI do it instead of a human
it's
error,
it's
if you will.
just it's just incredible,
Yep.
and how efficient it makes your
Mm-hmm.
cases, and also the fact that even doctors are taking advantage of it,
Yes.
right? Because one of the things that we do in these cases is, well, we got to get those records as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because then we got to prepare a
Mm-hmm.
complete demand with all medical records. So we have doctors who are very efficient in providing those records. It's great for us. And
Yes.
believe me, it's great for our case managers, our team,
Yeah,
because they're
absolutely.
definitely take advantage of that and then get it to us
Oh
immediately.
yeah, make it way more efficient. Now you can handle more clients that way as
Right.
well. And then yes, these conferences truly are the reason why most people can learn about this new technology and everything because that's where we can go to meet everybody.
Correct.
What a great conference Cala is. So if you're going, hope to see you there. But you will be having baby, so you're probably not going. Is
I'll
that what you
probably
said?
miss on it this year. I
Yeah.
was, I was able to attend TBI. We actually,
Oh, the
saw each
TBI
other
Med
there.
Legal. Yes.
And again, that was a very opening eye experience because we were at the mixer right after the conference, and we were overlooking Coronado, the
Mm-hmm.
ocean, and all the way to the south, Tijuana was right there.
Yes.
There were a lot of people from all over the country, and I was able to talk to one of these, big shot lawyers from the U.S. And he was asking me, he's like, "By the way, I heard that Mexico is like somewhere around here." And you realize that people do not know that Mexico is like right
It's
next to
literally
us.
right there.
So
Yeah.
I was pointing to a lot of people that Mexico is just right there.
Yeah.
That's how close we are.
Yeah.
That's how unique this area is. So they were very impressed by that.
That's
I'm like, oh,
awesome.
I thought we had to like drive at least 2 hours to get into Mexico.
Yeah. Nope.
I'm like, no, it's just a straight line that separates the two countries, so
Yes.
we can actually see each other.
Yes.
So again,
That
it's
makes
it's a
sense.
it's a it's a market
Yeah.
that we have been able to target, and that
Hmm.
thankfully we were able to help those people from
Wonderful.
both sides.
Yeah. And you have both Spanish speaking here, of course, and
We are. I know Max likes using the term. We are a United Nations of law firm.
a United Nations. I love
So
it.
we have a lot of languages from Mandarin, Cantonese, Laotian,
Awesome.
uh, and then of course Spanish.
Wow.
A lot of our clients, maybe 50% of them speak Spanish. I'm a fluent Spanish speaker. So I do podcasts also in Spanish,
Oh,
TV
good.
interviews also in Spanish.
Oh, good.
And I'm also actually I'm part of a great organization here in San Diego, Consumer Attorneys of San Diego.
Yes.
Have you heard of them?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm a recently I'm a recent board member with them,
Okay.
and we're also doing great things on informing the public, not just teaching our attorneys, but also informing the public of these
Mm-hmm.
of these benefits.
That's an organization actually that I wanted to get into, so we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, it's a great
um,
one.
yeah.
But again, I'm trying to bring also more Spanish into the community
Yeah.
because it's needed. It's needed, and there's a lot of now Spanish speaker attorneys, and a lot of people also from Tijuana who are now attorneys in the U.S.
Yeah. It's
So
great.
people growing up down there, and I touched on this at the last on a podcast recently, where people that went to my high school, my middle school in Mexico, great school by the way, um, that came out of that school. They're now the attorneys here. A lot of engineers, a lot of
It's
doctors.
amazing.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
I'm not, I mean, it's my opinion, but my education system here is not up to par, in my opinion. But thankfully, you got a good education in Mexico. And I know people think, well, it's Mexico, you're not going to get a good education there, whatever. Why not? They're,
they were pretty strict. So it was a private school in Mexico called Instituto Mexico.
mm,
Uh, Finished that school, super strict, and also my mom was very strict with my
oh,
schoolwork.
that
So
helps.
that's thanks to her as well. But when I got into college, I realized that this high school actually got me ready for it because college just came easy to me.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
law school not so much. Law
Yeah.
school, that's when it got really hard.
I
But
think for
college just
anybody,
came naturally easy,
that's
and
great.
that just came from the preparation from the
Yeah,
school.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. I'm so glad that you were able to do this, David.
Of course, thank you.
And let's get this word out. You can help all the people that are doing the cross-border type stuff and with workers' comp, with immigration, personal injury. We're definitely interested in getting you out there and showing everybody that you're the resource.
Yeah,
We're here.
especially in these areas that you
Yeah,
just mentioned, a lot of times immigration status is a non-issue
yeah,
because in California, you are entitled to rights. You are entitled to fight for your rights despite your immigration
yeah,
status. So I think that's also something that I want to,
yeah,
leave
absolutely.
people with.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
Of
and
course.
thank you for all the help you do for this humanity, and I appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for being here and spending the time on studying this, beautiful podcast room today.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and I hope
really
to see you
great.
guys soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
It has to be extremely frustrating to anyone experiencing TBI-like symptoms only to get a standard brain MRI that shows nothing to support a TBI diagnosis and comes back normal. TBI Analytics is an advanced brain imaging company specializing in diagnosing TBI when a standard brain MRI doesn't cut it. Our advanced quantitative multi-sequence brain MRI, including DTI, is interpreted by expert neuroradiologists and provide a comprehensive 40-plus page report identifying all of the fiber tracts that are damaged due to the axonal shearing that happens when a traumatic brain injury occurs. Standard brain MRIs are used to identify brain bleeds and emergency situations when someone has been injured, but it doesn't provide a full spectrum of what is happening in the gray and white matter of the brain. More than you might think happens to the integrity when that jello-like texture of the brain slams against the sharp-edged skull and bounces all over, causing the symptoms TBI victims complain about. Depending on what lobe of the brain is affected will determine the likelihood of what possible behavior-related or cognitive-related symptoms the patient is having. But rest assured, with TBI Analytics, patients can now get the results they deserve and need to know in order to obtain the right treatment going forward. It's time to take the guesswork out on what is happening and get your no-doubt diagnosis now. Call 1-888-824-5989. And remember, it's not normal to have ongoing TBI symptoms. And you can do something about it by going to tbianalytics.org to learn more.